So I'll be talking about how crypto investors are making money from NFTs, and is NFT a hedge in the current so-called bearish market that we are experiencing. Now, uh, just before I can start off, 10-second intro about myself. I run a crypto VC DAO, and we invest in various blockchain, NFT, DeFi projects. We also have a sister company called Mad for NFTs, where we uh, partner with celebrities, influencers, those on fashion, art, property, as well as brands that are looking to NFT their products or services. Now, let's come to NFTs. So the word NFT is non-fungible tokens, right? So let's talk about fungible first. And if you look at currency, for example, this $5 bill, right? It's a physical $5 bill. If I give you my $5 and in exchange you give me your $5, it's the same. Or if you give me, let's say, five $1 bill, and if I give you one $5 bill, it's the same. The value doesn't change, right? But if you look at the Mona Lisa painting, this is very unique, right? It cannot be changed because there's only one Mona Lisa painting. That's why it's called non-fungible. Now, the similar is the case on the digital side. So these are called physical fungible, and the one below is called digital. So Bitcoin is actually fungible. Why? Because if I give you my Bitcoin and you give me your Bitcoin, it actually basically is the same. There's no difference. However, with this so-called NFT art that you see over here, okay, if I give you my NFT art and you give me yours, it's completely different. So is the case with properties, right? We could be living on the same level, let's say on the same floor, but you could be facing the city and I could be facing, let's say, the ocean, right? So I have an ocean view, but you have a city view. But we could be in the same so-called building, and you could be a two-bedroom, and I'm also a two-bedroom. So that's called non-fungible, right? So it's unique. NFTs, the use case of NFTs are many. I'll come to it in a minute, but there are two important reasons why NFT has become very popular. One is because of its ownership. So ownership is what NFT really proves, that I am the owner of this particular so-called, in this case, my artwork over here, right? So that's the ownership. And the second biggest reason why NFTs become very popular is because of royalty. So some of the names which have really entered into NFT space is Coca-Cola, Starbucks, Nike, Adidas, right? So the names are big names have entered the NFT space. Now I'm going to play a video, and I like this video of Gary Vee where he explains really why businesses are going to need an NFT strategy. So just kind of hear him.
Why do you need an NFT? Why do you need to use this kind of technology in order to do what people are already doing for customers already? That was literally the question that people asked me about the internet. Why would you need to buy wine on a computer? I can go to the store. When you do an NFT, you can put things into the contract. So Lou's Pizza Shop can issue NFTs and make 1,000 tokens, right? The regular pizza pictures just give you a 10% discount. The gold one gives you unlimited free pizza. After 6 months, if they've had enough pizza or they move, can sell it on the blockchain. Lou gets a royalty on that transaction because you could put royalty contracts under these NFTs. He keeps making financials on the back end of the royalty. So for every small business, every personality, every intellectual property, the token is also a marketing collateral. The way everybody in business needs a social media account to be relevant in 2021 is the same way in 2025 everyone's going to need a NFT strategy.
So that was very rightly put by Gary, and he says every business will need an NFT strategy. Now, if you look at NFTs, you have these are the categories like metaverse, game, utility, art, sports, collectible, and collectible has the most popular NFTs which are getting sold. You'll be surprised that kids as young as 12 years old, they are creating NFTs and they are making money out of it. Here's a 12-year-old girl, and her collection is called the long neck NFT. collection, and she is also being quite popular. She's made around $1.6 million from her NFT collections. Now, for those of you who may not know how to draw, you'll be surprised that you could actually sell your own selfie, and make money. So here's a student from Indonesia, and he made his own NFTs by selling his selfie as an NFT, and he fetched $1 million. This is Irene from Singapore, and she raked in $7.5 million by selling her own NFTs as a selfie. So why NFTs? Why has it become so popular? That's because of the sheer, I would say, gains that people have made. For example, here's a very popular NFT collection called Pudgy Penguin, and this was minted for around $60, and it's trading for around $8,000. So the return is around 13,000% return. Now, this kind of returns you don't get to see in traditional investments like stocks and commodities. Even some of the crypto coins or fungible coins, you don't get these kind of returns, the kind of returns that we're getting in non-fungible tokens. So here's some other examples. Like, for example, this particular NFT was minted for 0.03, and the current floor price 99. You can see the kind of gains from the mint price to the floor price. Here's another one, flipped BAYC, mint price was 0.1, floor price is 51, so that's a 51,000% return. So these kind of gains are just unseen of and unheard of in traditional investments, and that's why NFTs become so popular. Anyone with as little as $50 can participate in an NFT. So it's anybody can. You don't need to have a lot of capital. That's why it's attracting a lot of users. Now, on my screen right now, here's a leaderboard of all the top NFT, so-called, I will call them as whales. So Pranksy, for example, the kind of money he's made from NFTs, that's like 1,573 ETH. That's the kind of profit. It shows exactly his revenue, how much he has spent, how much he has bought. So these are all the top NFT buyers. The NFT ecosystem is just growing, and nowadays you could actually see NFTs in art. You could see NFT in metaverse like Decentraland, Sandbox, NFT in gaming, in sports, in domain names, marketplaces, infrastructure. So the use case of NFT is just growing and growing every single day. Now let's look at some of the numbers in the last, I would say, quarter, and maybe let's say from the beginning of this year. So this is where in Jan you can see the monthly volume of NFTs, right? So it's like 15 billion, right? And then from there you can see it's kind of going down. So when you look at this, you will think that, oh, actually the NFT market is falling, but that's not true. The reason being is this fall is because of the fall in the price of fungible tokens, which is Ethereum. So what essentially has happened is, if I am raising 1 ETH for my NFT collection, it's still 1 ETH. But because the price of ETH has become 1/3, so it was 4,000, now it's 1,000. So maybe not even 1/3, dropped by more than 1/3. The volumes seem to have shrunk. You'll be surprised to see that more and more venture funding has actually gone into NFT startups this year. And let me give you some examples. Like Estonia-based NFT port raises $26 million from investors. Here are some top NFT companies in 2021. So we have Dapper Labs that raised 386 million, and then SoRare 57, OpenSea 23. Let's look at this year. Now, funding for blockchain records, startup hits a record of 9.2 billion in the first 3 months of 2022. This is according to CB Insights. And if you look at the numbers, 3.6 billion was raised by blockchain focused startups. Out of that, 2.4 billion was for NFTs. That's the interesting part. So if you look at 2021, it was 3.6. In 2022, it's 9.2. Out of 9.2, 2.6 are for NFT startups. And the two most valuable unicorns that came into the NFTs was Yuga Labs and Immutable. Now, Yuga Labs, as we all know, they own the Bored Ape Yacht Club, the CryptoPunks, and the Meebits, raising 450 million in funding at 4 billion valuation in this year, March 2022. And Australia-based Immutable raised 200 million at 2.5 billion valuation in March, which was led by Temasek, which is in Singapore. And if you look at, as on today, there are surprisingly 62 unicorns in the blockchain space with a valuation of at least 1 billion. And Hong Kong-based Animoca Brands is the most active investor in the first quarter of 2022. And they have been mostly investing in gaming, NFTs, and metaverse. In the second place is Coinbase Ventures, and the third place is Pantera Capital. So NFT, actually, more and more investors are coming into this space. If you look at the size of NFT market, it's going to grow from 3 billion, which is currently, to 13.6 billion by 2027. That's a compounded growth rate of 35%. So we're going to see a growth rate from 2022 to 2027. And the major factors that are going to influence is, of course, the adoption. More importantly, NFTs are going to be used in gaming more so. And of course, celebrities are going to be coming in and pushing this further. Now, the demand for NFTs was actually 770,000 unique NFT buyers joined in January so far in this year. That's almost 2,500% jump from 30,000, which was reported last year. So all these numbers are telling us that the craze for NFTs has just begun. The volumes are down because the price of Ethereum is down. But I'll share with you, this is VGMI. It's a website where you can go and check all the prices of cryptos, NFTs rather, and you can see all the top NFTs, right? They're hardly down in the last 30 days. They're hardly down, right? While Bitcoin and Ethereum and all the other coins are down by 50%, 60%, 70%, right? But NFTs are hardly down, right? And some of them are even up. For example, here, Neo Tokyo identities, they are up by 120%. Damien Hirst currency up by 73%. So definitely NFTs are here to stay, and the hype has just begun, or I would say the craze has just begun.